San Diego State. Been a great story all year long, and they're still in it. 34-2. They beat Northern Colorado. Then they beat Temple in double OT. They go to the Sweet 16 for the first time ever, and they take on UConn Thursday in Anaheim. I am joined by their head coach. 12 years now at San Diego State, 21 years overall, won a national championship in Michigan. I'm joined by Steve Fisher. Steve, it is great to have you back on. How are you?
I'm doing great, Jim, and it feels great to still be playing at this time of year.
Yeah, I'll say, it must be. And we're still talking about San Diego State. You know, I mentioned, Steve, you've had so many big wins in the tournament, but considering where you are right now and how you beat Temple in double OT, where would you rank that win?
Well, it was immensely significant from the fact that, as you have well documented and we've talked about, we had never won a game going in. I think our kids, as much as I tried to diminish it, they put a little extra pressure on themselves to win that first game against Northern Colorado. And then the Temple game, I knew that was going to be a hard game. They're good, and they played really hard, as did we. And we had some sloppy play that turned it over, that gave them not only a chance to get back in, but gave them a lead. But to our credit, our kids didn't fold. They responded and made plays. And now we're going up to Anaheim, which should be a home crowd for us, and playing against the 3 seed, to where in anybody's mind you're going to say, well, it's a coin flip in terms of who should win that game. So I would hope that we would not feel pressure that we have to win. And the fact that we won 2 games now, I believe we'll be relaxed and hopefully we'll play our best basketball. We did not play our best basketball. We won 2 games in Tucson.
San Diego State head coach Steve Fisher is my guest. You know, Steve, you did not make a single substitution after the end of regulation. Is that the way that played out, or did you make up your mind at that point, I'm going to go with what got us here. We're not doing anything differently here on out?
It somewhat played out that way, Jim, and as I went back and looked at the tape, I probably should have made a substitution or two. I should have gotten Rayhan back in the game and arrested one of our guards a little bit, but I got comfortable and maybe a little bit feeling that we're going okay, so I want to go with what we've got. But we can't play DJ Gay for 50 minutes and guys like that. We've got to give people a rest because we've got good players that we can bring in off the bench.
Now, how much did you guys show you in coming back after only 1 day off to go and battle that way? Because when you get to it, I don't want to say it's going to come down to who wants it more, but very clearly they gave you everything they had. How much did you guys show you in the effort that they gave out to win that game?
I love our team. We've got not only good players, they're good athletes, but we got some toughness about ourselves that shows. Most people, when they're scoring baskets, they rejuvenate with extra energy. And our kids have always said, we're going to guard, and we're going to guard hard, and that will be our staple, whether we make every shot or whether we go like we did against Temple. We were 8 for 24 in the second half, and still we guarded like crazy and allowed ourselves a chance to win. We've got a team with character, which is why you have to have that, Jim. Even though you got good players, you have to have something a little bit extra to be 34-2 at this stage of the season.
San Diego State head coach Steve Fisher is my guest. Next up, UConn. Now, Steve, you get 3 consecutive double-doubles from your senior Billy White. You had pulled him aside not long ago, a few weeks back, and you said something to him. Whatever it was, it worked. What kind of conversation did you have with him?
Well, if it worked, I probably should have had it about 3 years ago. Billy has had 3 straight double-doubles. He had 3 in his career, 3 years and 31 games, and he's had 3 in a row. What he's done, Jim, and we did show him, it was more than 2 weeks ago, 2 or 3, maybe a month ago, we showed him some tape of how when shots went up, he would stand. And our talk was, Bill, how can you expect to get a rebound if you don't go after a rebound? And to his credit, the last few games, he has pursued the ball as well as anybody in the country. And I said, pursue the ball like Kawhi does. If you do that, you're going to get your extra opportunities. He's had 7 offensive rebounds in his last 2 games.
Kawhi is Kawhi Leonard, of course. Steve Fisher joining us. So, Steve, one of the big challenges, of course, now you get Kemba Walker. The guy can beat you in so many different ways. He's such a dangerous player, a player of the year candidate. What do you do to try to slow him down and neutralize his strengths?
He really is good, and I have not seen him live, but on tape he makes you nervous. He's Jimmer Fredette with the way he is with the ball. He's ultra quick. I do think the fact that we've played Fredette and with a thought process, that will help us a little bit. He's good though. He's going to score points. We have to make sure that the bulk of his scores come from perimeter jump shots. That should be the thought. Hard to do. He had 14 free throws most recently in one of their tournament games. He's very good off the bounce. He can get through cracks. So that'll be a challenge for us, but hopefully we'll be prepared on Thursday.
See, when you and I first spoke at the end of the year, we talked about the vibe on campus. We talked about what it was like in your building. I mean, it's setting up so beautifully that you can play this game in Anaheim. Do you get the sense that the folks in San Diego are going to make the trip up the way and be there to support it?
Oh, we're going to have a huge crowd there. I'm looking out my window now across the street where our students are lined up. There have to be 300 deep to have a chance to get a student ticket, to get a ticket for the game. This will be a hot ticket, and we're gonna have a lot of San Diego State people who will be at that basketball game without question.
So your guys tried to dedicate the opening round win to you, but you were having none of that. How come?
Well, because number one, none of these kids were around when San Diego State became Division I in the 70s. They played and won against Tennessee last year. So I tried to say, hey, this is our team, this is our time. Let's go out and win it for our team, for ourselves. You don't have to think we got to win one for someone else. And I do think that was the thought process. We wanted to win because so often if you lose early, too many people say, well, you had a good season, but ... We had won 32 games going into the tournament, and I didn't want a ... and neither did our kids. We wanted to be the first ever to get a win. We deserve that, and now we're obviously the first ever to win 2 games, and our goal is to be the first ever to win 3 and then 4.
Steve Fisher, my guest. Steve, before you go, I can't let you go without asking you about the Fab Five documentary, which I know you saw. What did you make of the piece and the resulting controversy from it?
I watched it. Jalen talked me into being interviewed and being a part of it. He had his thumbprint on it. I thought it was a story well told. I don't care to get into the controversy of some of the stuff that is being swirled around now. I thought that the story that they told was very good. I smiled as I watched it, and I was proud of Jalen and his piece for. He was the ringleader in terms of getting it on. He was one of the producers of it, and I thought it was good.
So when he asked you, was that an automatic yes, or did he have to talk you into participating?
When he initially asked me, I said, Jalen, I don't need that. I got the team I'm worrying about, and I said, I'm happy in my own skin doing what I'm doing. He said, Coach, I need you to do it. I'm involved. Trust me. I said, say no more. Get your crew down here, whatever you need.
Steve Fisher, head coach at San Diego State. Big one coming up. They've got UConn Thursday in Anaheim. I appreciate the visit once again. Good luck, Steve. Hope we can talk again soon.
I hope so also, Jim. Thank you for having me on.
Great to have you on. Thank you.